Now, let me welcome Dr. Andrew Serazin, who's the president of our host, the Templeton World Charity Foundation, and Heather Templeton-Dill, president of the John Templeton Foundation, to just share a few words. Andrew and Heather, over to you.
Thank you, Redi. Dear friends and colleagues, welcome to the first Global Scientific Conference on Human Flourishing. I am Andrew Serazin, president of the Templeton World Charity Foundation. The world we envision for our children and future generations is prosperous, peaceful, full of meaning and purpose, of joy and discovery, of gratitude and love. These hopes have been a constant throughout our human civilization. They are the subject of ancient faiths and philosophies, ballads, and contemporary policy debates. But although these aspirations are universal, the path to achieve them requires a fundamental rethink. The breakthroughs that we need to solve our current global challenges, to transform our energy usage, to prevent the next pandemic, to live peaceably together in democracies, will come from people working and living together cooperatively, not just from technical wizardry or top-down legal dictates. And to get the best from people, we must understand how and why people from different cultures around the world can flourish together, even amidst tremendous adversity. Where do we start on this journey? We start with the science. Science is at the core of the Templeton World Charity Foundation. We were established by Sir John Templeton in 1996 to support a diverse group of researchers to produce knowledge, develop tools, and launch innovations that make a lasting impact on human flourishing. We have committed $100 million to support projects across research, policy, and practice. And this strategy is not just about making interesting discoveries or doing intriguing research, but also to translate those discoveries into practices that can be rigorously tested and launched for the benefit of individuals, communities, and countries. This first Global Scientific Conference on Human Flourishing marks a watershed moment for the field. It is the first global attempt to bring together all of those researchers, practitioners, communicators, and policymakers under one roof. And we're not alone. Dozens of philanthropists, government officials, and other funders are joining the conference as well. You'll soon hear from my colleague, Heather Templeton-Dill, the president of our sister organization, the John Templeton Foundation, about why this auspicious day, we chose this auspicious day to kick off what we hope will be a permanent fixture for the field. And throughout the 2 days, you'll also hear from 9 workshops happening at leading institutions around the globe: the Universidades de los Andes in Bogota, Colombia, Stanford University and Worldview Studios in San Francisco, Legatum Institute in Nairobi, Kenya, University of Cambridge in the UK, University of Haifa in Israel, the Inner Development Goals hosted in Kigali, Rwanda, Arizona State University, Rangyung Yishi Institute in Kathmandu, Nepal, and Baylor University here, where the Templeton World Charity Foundation is located in Nassau, the Bahamas. Our speakers represent a diversity of viewpoints, experiences, and geographies, but our ultimate goal is to translate different aspects of the science of flourishing into real, concrete action together. I know that is why I'm here, to motivate action in the real world. But why are we hosting this conference now? Well, flourishing as a societal aspiration has deep roots in our culture and history, but it is only recently that scientists have demonstrated it is possible to empirically measure and study flourishing in its different dimensions. And yet, despite this progress, we have multiple conceptual frameworks and many different answers to the question, what is human flourishing? And we'll have the opportunity to debate those views during several panels and presentations throughout the next 2 days. But most of us here agree that when humans flourish, it means we're on a journey toward a life that is holistically good, a life that goes beyond physical or mental well-being and financial security. Flourishing means a life that is well-lived, full of hope and gratitude, meaning, purpose, and transcendence. A growing scientific literature, towards which many of you here have contributed, offers powerful examples about how science can inform new interventions and new policies. One of my favorite examples is the burgeoning topic of forgiveness. Over the past 30 years, careful study of the concept of forgiveness has helped us measure some of the underlying physiological benefits of practicing this virtue by reducing anxiety, stress, and hypertension. At the same time, forgiveness is an important tool for social cohesion, which can facilitate stronger relationships, the pursuit of justice, and may lead to group reconciliation. You'll hear an intimate example of this today during our exciting session with author Cheryl Strayed and the artist Milk. Another powerful example of the dynamic link between science and action is that of gratitude. Gratitude is the natural response to benevolence, whether that benefactor is a stranger, a loved one, the planet, or the divine. Among many other benefits, gratitude has been linked to sustainability and environmental action by reducing a person's usage of limited resources. These studies show that people who experience gratitude towards nature are morally concerned and intrinsically motivated to act responsibly, and they take action more readily in their own lives. The theories and practical applications will be discussed tomorrow in our sessions on climate change and other global challenges to human flourishing. A third example relates to joy and self-worth as drivers of good health and healthcare. In Pakistan, arts and storytelling are being tested as a tool to motivate healthcare workers. In Zimbabwe, researchers are now investigating whether reduction in HIV viral load and increased compliance with medication is mediated through campaigns focused on acceptance and hope. We'll hear about the connection between human flourishing and health and well-being in an upcoming session on aging. To me, I think these different studies illustrate a new kind of paradigm for science. Instead of seeking to create external technologies, the science of human flourishing focuses on strengthening our innate capacities and scaffolding of human potential. And to me, this is science at its best: rigorous conceptual thinking combined with data, experimentation, and innovations. But we're only at the beginning of this broader exploration of the science of human flourishing, and the field is not without its blind spots. Most research conducted to date has been conducted in a very limited geographic and cultural zone, that of Western, English-speaking, higher-income countries. This leaves out the majority of the people in the world and must be corrected. I'm pleased to report that a new global study seeks to begin to change this bias. The Global Flourishing Study is a collaboration between researchers at Baylor University, Harvard University, the Gallup Organization, the Center for Open Science, and a consortium of funders, including the 3 Templeton Philanthropies. This $43 million initiative will follow 240,000 individuals from 22 geographically and culturally diverse countries over 5 years. The annual data collection will track a broad range of well-being outcomes and represents an important step in creating a deep longitudinal data set that can be mined for decades to come. Today, we'll hear more about this landmark study and hear expert panelists consider what else do we need to know. This conference is also intended to be a platform to announce new initiatives. Today, I'm so pleased to announce a new request for proposals from the Templeton World Charity Foundation through our $20 million Listening and Learning in a Polarized World initiative. I think we can all agree that polarization is a critical obstacle for solving existential problems like climate change, war, and famine. TWCF will fund a series of research efforts to take a systematic look at what are the underlying mechanisms and models behind polarization that can be problematic, which mechanisms are universal, and which are culturally specific. So whether you're in Africa, Latin America, Southeast Asia, the US, or Europe, what is the same and what is different? You can learn more about this request for proposals at templetonworldcharity.org. And finally, I just want to thank all of you for joining us today. I hope you'll stay with us for the entire conference, but do make sure to check the schedule at humanflourishing.org to find the most up-to-date sessions. If you look at nothing else, join us again tomorrow at this time, where we have some very, very distinguished surprise guests that we'll be showcasing at tomorrow's opening session. We encourage you to enter comments and questions in the conference chat platform, and we'll feed questions to session moderators to enrich the discussion. I'd also like to thank our media partner, Scientific American, as well as our fantastic journalist moderators. The conference program was guided by a deep engagement from our world-class program advisory committee, including Amina Abubakar, Yuria Seladwen, David DeSteno, Bob Emmons, Mark Fabian, Matthew Lee, Michael Muthukrishna, Laurie Santos, Emiliana Simon Thomas, and Rodney Smith. Now, Sir John Templeton, the founder of the 3 Templeton Philanthropies, said that we are just now emerging into a blossoming time for humanity, and periods of difficult change, transition, and challenge are ripe opportunities to drive progress and to explore different ideas of what it means to thrive. And science is one of our most powerful gifts. We have not only to understand our experience, but to reimagine it for the better. We expect over 3,000 participants for this 2-day conference, which signals to me that despite the challenges we face, there exists a critical mass of engaged individuals who are committed to making a difference. We look forward to working with all of you over the next years to build this vital field and to forge a path for all humans to flourish.